On the news at 1, INEC releases qualified associations upgraded as political parties. Integrity and security in the electoral process resonate as FCTA area councils election draws near. And residents commend FCTA administration as illegal structures go down along airport road corridors. Welcome to 1 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Sandra Akene. On our political desk, 14 out of the 171 associations seeking to be registered as political parties have been shortlisted, while 157 failed to meet up the criteria. INEC, in a statement by its National Commissioner for Information, Sam Olumikon, says the list of the 14 pre-qualified associations have been published on the Commission website, and the leaders of the pre-qualified associations have been invited for a briefing on the second stage of the registration process. Also, as the Federal Capital Territory Area Council's elections approach, stakeholders believe ensuring integrity and security of the electoral process is crucial. This, among other issues, resonated in a pre-election workshop organized by an NGO, Initiative for the Restoration of Human Dignity and Social Justice, to educate politicians across party affiliation on electoral security best practices. Odiri Ogboru Aruteri has more.
Following pockets of violence experienced before, during and after elections in the country, Initiative for Restoration of Human Dignity and Social Justice is organizing this workshop aimed at equipping politicians with the knowledge of human dignity, election security, as well as peace resolution after elections.
We learned a lot from the lecture, and it gives us a directive how to do your campaign without violence, how to avoid the insecurities. So, and by God's grace, with what we had here today, I think it's enough for us to do our campaign without any issues, without crisis with the opposition. And we had a lot from them.
I appreciate this organization, and I have learned a lot of things to prepare for my forthcoming election.
Campaign lectures here, and we are very happy we have get some knowledge on this campaign issue, because we are on the process of the campaign now, and with this knowledge that we get today, inshallah, we come out victorious.
Organizers say they are not discouraged by the low turnout even after reaching out to many political parties. They are hopeful that those present will cascade information and the lessons acquired in other similar educative workshops.
It has 3 stages: pre-election, during election, and after election. And in every stage, of course, security is very important. What are the causes of crisis before, during, and after election? We said there are 3 major principles that has been identified to be part of either the problem or the solution: the politicians themselves, the security agencies, and the electoral umpire.
For us to make these changes, people need to be informed and educated. That is why we tailor this training to the aspirants that are contesting for the forthcoming elections in FCT, to tell them that before this election, FCT existed, and after the election, FCT will also exist. Therefore, while they are going about in their campaign, they should put human being first.
The first pre-campaign for FCT Area Council election has its theme on exploring the nexus between human dignity, social justice, and election campaign. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru Arutere, NTA News.
On security, The Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Adewale Saka Ajao, says promoting cultural norms and values among the younger generation is vital in curbing crime. Security correspondent Tessie Omiri reports that he made the remarks at a stakeholder security meeting in Abuja.
Leveraging entertainment as a tool to discourage crime and inspire young Nigerians towards meaningful ventures is the focus of the You Against Crime initiative, which has so far engaged over 3 million youths across the country in right thinking. At a stakeholders security meeting, FCT Commissioner of Police Adewale Saka Ajao emphasized the vital role of culture in combating crime.
A single man from the palace with just a stick, symbol of authority, can arrest a whole village. We need to take troop to smaller community now to arrest a small criminal. We need to go back to our roots. We have values, we celebrate virtues. We do not celebrate wealth in the past, we celebrate history behind the wealth. How did you get here? But today, it has changed.
Stakeholders drawn from the academia, security agencies, including the EFCC and NDLEA, as well as the private sector, highlighted the link between culture and crime. They called on Nigerians to revive family values and promote cultural norms as a way of instilling good morals, particularly among the youth.
The relationship between culture and crime is complex and multifaceted. Culture is more positive in curbing crime.
You see a child, we have this get-rich-quick syndrome nowadays. Children will come home with money and their parents don't ask them where they get it from.
You can live your life outside crime if only you can unveil the resources within you for national economic transformation.
Mandate secretaries for Women Affairs and the Area Councils Commission also stressed that culture can serve as an effective instrument for crime prevention.
Crime prevention is better than just looking for the solution in a cure in itself, because cure is never sure.
Africa has one of the most captivating culture, and if properly documented, archived and promoted, it has ability to transform and make Nigeria a zero crime community or a nation.
The You Against Crime team has used entertainment to nurture young talents, encourage self-reliance, and showcase positive potentials.
We created You Against Crime to fill in that open space between the general public and the security agencies, which I would say is a national consciousness. Security agencies can't do it alone, so we need to start from the bottom.
This holistic approach, because we're going to be using education, we're going to be using entertainment, we're going to be doing advocacy as well.
The meeting climaxed with the unveiling of the You Against Crime Festival 2025. In Abuja, Tessie Omiri, NTA News.
Thank you so much.
Away from security, no fewer than 35 alleged illegal structures at the River Park Estate along Airport Road in the FCT have been demolished by officials of the Development Control Department. Onazo Yakubu reports that the action is sequel to recommendations of the Ministerial Committee, stated that all underdeveloped plots in the estate be reverted to the FCTA.
Led by the Director of the Development Control Department, Mukhtar Galadima, the operation became necessary with the affected developers accused of circumventing the earlier directive by going ahead with the construction despite the withdrawal of their lease agreement. Galadima maintains that the more than 30 foundations at the excavation level that have already been dug be covered, warning that they will not hesitate to remove any upcoming developments.
We got a report that some developers are hurriedly working day and night to see that they have developed some of the vacant plots. So what we do as an agency, we serve them notice to stop work, and then we will do the building plan approval granted.
On the claims that an estate, Paulo Homes, was behind the development, Town Planner Galadima clarifies that the matter will be properly addressed by the FCTA Legal Secretariat. He emphasizes that from the report submitted by the committee, it appears that there was a development lease agreement which has already expired.
All the cases that I had, that we were informed, were cases instituted by the residents associations and owners of holders of area council title. So, and those cases were been determined since.
It will be recalled that the ad hoc committee on the review of controversies surrounding the River Park estate, headed by the FCT General Counsel Salman Dako, in his report explained that the revocation of the undeveloped plots was necessitated by the expiration and breach of the DLA and the need to reassert administrative control over the affected plots in line with the clause 9 subsection 2 of the agreement. This, he added, is in alignment with the subsisting court judgment. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Collapsed buildings have become an alarming and reoccurring tragedy in our nation. Each incident leaves behind grief, destruction, and unanswered questions about the integrity of the construction sector. In this special report, Kama investigates what is fueling this deadly trend and who should be held responsible.
Another building down, another community shattered in seconds. What was meant to be a dream home or workplace becomes a graveyard of broken hopes. For years, the pattern has remained unchanged. A new structure rises only to crumble under the weight of poor standards and systematic failure. Our findings reveal a disturbing reality: negligence, substandard materials, and a dangerous culture of cutting corners. Experts insist the red flags are always visible: weak foundation, unqualified contractors, and disregard for approved designs.
It is not great. I think the authority should be able to deal with it. But once the percentage is higher, when the percentage is higher, then it means it should be everybody's concern why we have building collapse. I don't think when I ask you off the camera is to say how many do we have here and there. Yes, concerned people getting killed if the properties are not legally built or they don't have approval and they say go ahead and build.
I don't want to use the word bribe, but if the bodies can do their work and don't collect bribe for these issues not to happen, because when you come to a site and you're being sorted out, right, you don't have any business going back there to do the job you're supposed to do. Do your jobs.
We are here at Abuja Street, where some buildings was flagged for flaunting its approval plans. A stop work order was issued weeks ago over glaring structural defects. Yet, work continued here. Until disaster struck, the story is not unique. Across Abuja and other cities, developers roundly defy regulations, sometimes aided by compromised officials, while innocent citizens pay the price. The Nigerian Engineering Commission has a mandate to safeguard structural integrity nationwide, but questions remain. Are its enforcement power strong enough? Can the system curb the tide of corruption and negligence fueling this preventable disaster?
When I see, a seeming condemnation of all engineers in Nigeria, I don't feel happy, and all of us are not feeling happy. And our hands are tight. We are constrained to be able to jump and deliver on what we promise the nation we can. But in the subject matter we are discussing, construction industry, the builders, the architects, the quantity surveyors, the town planners, the surveyors, and if we join hands, we work together, we will stop all this incessant embarrassment in our country called building collapse.
Until transparency, accountability, and strict enforcement become the norm, Nigerians will continue to live under the shadow of unsafe buildings. Kama, NTA News.
The Al-Abinia Islamic Society recently brought together leaders from diverse faiths in Abuja for its 2025 Interfaith Interaction on Philanthropy. The event aimed to promote community action through faith-based giving, fostering collaboration and understanding among different religious groups. Hawagima reports that the gathering featured panel discussions group interactions, and charitable activities.
As the saying goes, philanthropy is not about religion, it is about humanity. It is a call to care for the poor, the sick, and the vulnerable. The Chief Imam of Al-Abibia Islamic Society, Imam Fuad Adeyemi, explained that the need for unity, tolerance, and collective action for the greater good formed the core of discussions at the 2025 Interfaith Interaction on Philanthropy, an initiative, it says, will help communities grow in a better shape.
We have to stand up and do something. One of the things we need to do now that the Muslim and the Christians should come together. Let us look into our books. What did God say about giving others? So if we now agree that our books has allowed us, has encouraged us, has commanded us to be giving, how do we now get organized in such a way that it will be useful for us?
Faith leaders from Islam, Christianity, and other traditions emphasize that despite differences in doctrine, all religions share a common message of compassion, charity, and service to humanity.
We have this huge gap between the rich and the poor, and what religion can do is to reduce the gap. Because whether Islam or Christianity, we preach that our God is a God that has a heart for the poor.
It's an act of moving closer to Allah and to improve the welfare of the society through a variety of good acts.
You know, the Bible says in Proverbs 19:17 that he that giveth to the poor lendeth to the Lord, and he will repay him back. So God is interested in what we do with our resources as we give back to the less privileged.
It will boost us to help our less privileged and the poor. Had it been we have been doing this type of thing, we couldn't have gotten into the trouble that we are today.
For the Al-Abibia Islamic Society, the program provides a platform to promote peace, build trust among diverse faith communities. One of their major goals is to foster interfaith cooperation, stressing that when people of different faiths unite in philanthropy, communities become stronger and more resilient. Participants further noted that partnerships across faith lines can help address pressing social issues such as poverty, education, and health. With the interfaith interaction, the Al-Abibia Islamic Society believes faith-based philanthropy can become a powerful tool for nation building, ensuring that compassion transcends boundaries of religion. Hawagimba, NTA News.
You are watching the 1 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. We'll be back after this break.
Good evening, glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me. And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The news station NTA Channel 5 Abuja would say have a lovely day.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Now, imagine riding over 10,000 kilometers through deserts, forests, and foreign lands on two wheels. We bring you an amazing story of a Nigerian woman's jaw-dropping journey from Lagos to Belgium on motorcycle. Apewi Attractor Ogbon, the fearless customs officers who defied the odds and rode her motorcycle from Lagos to Brussels. Odiri Ogbori Arotere reports.
It began as an adventure on two wheels, daring voyage across continents in August 2025. A Nigerian woman ignited her power bike in Lagos, setting her sight on Belgium. What followed was a breathtaking journey of grit and evidence, covering deserts, coastal lines, and foreign highways. Through torrential rains along the West African coast, the scorching sand of the Mauritania, and the rugged terrain of Morocco, she passed on. Crossing into Europe, she rode through Spain and France, undeterred by fatigue, until she finally rode into Belgium. It was completion of her journey, but the breaking of barriers.
And then the wind from the desert is blowing from another side, so it was not as hot, but it was very windy. Yes, so the bike was moving, swaying left and right, and I had to move very, very slowly to be able to continue the journey. But the initial flag off was at the headquarters in Abuja, and then I left from the Sept border, that is the border between Lagos and Benin, and then I moved from Benin to Togo, from Togo to Burkina Faso, and then to Mali, to Senegal, Mauritania, Morocco, Spain, France, and then Belgium.
Akpewe's story is a tale of adventure, a reminder of resilience, courage, and the boundless possibilities for women who dare to dream. Her determination has not just only lifted her name, but also projected Nigeria's image, strength, and perseverance on the global stage. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru Arutere.
Thank you, Odiri. Hawagimba is starting by with business news.
Obasanjo calls for lasting partnerships as IATF closes with $48.3 billion deals. Welcome to Business News. I am Hawa Gimba. Former President of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, has called for a conscious effort towards nurturing the partnerships and collaboration establishing throughout the intra-African trade fair. He urged African leaders to ensure that the connections were transformed into concrete long-term alliance capable of delivering tangible economic outcomes across the continent. He also reiterated that Africans' future depends not just on policy or ambition, but on the sustained commitment to turning shaped ideas into collective action that will untimely unlock the full potential of intra-Africa trade and regional prosperity. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called on the Federal Executive Council Committee to move swiftly and implement measures to further reduce food prices across the country. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, disclosed this yesterday during a capacity building workshop for Senate correspondents in Abuja. According to him, the directive focused on ensuring the safe passage of farm produce across transport routes to cut logistic costs. Abdullahi said the plan was tied to Tinubu's broader vision of food sovereignty beyond availability to ensure affordability, accessibility, and nutrition on a sustainable basis. The Naira sustained its rally on Wednesday, closing at 1,500 Naira to the United States dollar at the official Nigerian foreign exchange markets. The performance marked a significant milestone as the local currency trade below the $1,500 threshold for the second consecutive day. According to data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Naira fluctuated between $1,498 and $1,507 during the trading session. This marked a continuance of a positive trajectory seen since the beginning of September, when the Naira opened at $1,526.09 at the NFME. By Monday, it had firmed to $1,506, maintaining that rate on Tuesday before the further appreciating midweek. The last time the Naira traded at $1,500 was March 5th, 2025, underscoring the stick. For business news this week is back to the studio.
Up next is Sports Brief.
National football team, the Flying Eagles, will depart for Chile on Sunday as preparations intensify for the World Cup. The team, currently in camp in Abuja, will set up a 2-week training base in Chile of their opening Group D fixtures against Norway on Monday, September 29th. They are also drawn in the same group with Saudi Arabia and Colombia. However, head coach Aliyu Zubairu is expected to finalize his 21-man squad on Friday, September 19. Team officials have confirmed that several Europe-based players named in the final roster will join the delegation en route to South America. The Flying Eagles are aiming to improve on their performance at the 2023 edition in Argentina, where they reached the quarterfinals with a blend of local talent and overseas-based professionals. The team is hopeful of making a deeper run in the tournament. Nigeria's The Tigress guard Ezine Kalu has sealed a move to Women's Chinese Basketball Association side Wuhan Shenfan ahead of the 2025-2026 season. The 4-time FIBA Women's Afro Basketball champion continues her career in China after a standout season with Zhejiang, where she averaged 21.5 points, 4.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 2.5 steals across 33 appearances in the 2024-2025 campaign. Kalu, who is 33 years old, was instrumental in helping Nigeria claim a 5th consecutive Afro basketball title in Ivory Coast, extending the team's continental dominance to 7 championships. With Sports Brief, Moses Kuye, NTA News.
That is it on the 1 p.m. news. Thanks for watching. I am Sandra Akemi. Good afternoon.